Spacey Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria, and we are, well, we're in Akechi's epilogue, so, and we were running away. That's not gonna get us in trouble. It's not gonna get us in trouble, though. We're probably gonna, like, wrap up with a lovely little kiss or something, and then be done, and then it's gonna be like, but, you know, there's repercussions for kidnapping an English woman. I'm just assuming, or for her running away. But whatever. He just scaled up a fucking building, so I mean, sure, logic. Anyway, so yeah, gas lamps flickered along the street, casting their light against distinctly Japanese buildings and the many people milling around in between them. Also, again, we'll hide so that you can run away and hide. Again, the white woman is gonna not stand out or anything. Just saying. If she had dark hair, maybe she'd blend in, but her hair is fucking blonde. She gonna stand out. But, Many seemed to react with surprise as we passed. No doubt a Westerner in a kimono running down a city street was quite the uncommon sight. No, but I mean, you could totally hide. That's what I'm saying, right? But I wasn't about to let their stares bother me. The warmth and reassurance of Akechi's hand clasping mine furnished me with all the strength I needed to press onward. This way, Spacey. Without warning, he pulled me down a side road, then much to my surprise, drew me closer to him. My face was so close to his that I could feel his breath against my cheeks. Akechi? Quiet. The police are passing by. As I peered down the narrow avenue, I could see a group in uniforms making their way through the crowd. There is every chance this incident may have already been reported back to the Metropolitan Police headquarters. Yes, you're right. We'll need to be careful. His mind seemed wholly occupied assessing the situation. Looking at him, it was as though I was the only one taking notice of how close we were. The thought of it caused me to flush with embarrassment. How are they going to explain this anyway? Is something amiss? You didn't sprain your ankle running in that kimono, did you? I'm fine. I spent no small number of days running here and there among the hills in the countryside when I was young. But just not in a kimono. You just surprised me when you hugged me suddenly like that. For a second, his eyebrows raised in surprise and realization. I acted without due consideration. I had no ulterior motives, I promise you. I wish you did. I'm sorry. The more I think on it, the more ashamed I now feel. Oh, wait! Akechi's face seemed nearly to glow a crimson hue, and he flung himself back from me, almost as if pushed. But before I knew it, I had pulled his hand back, closer to me. Timidly, I entwined my fingers in his, gazing up at him. I'd like to continue holding hands. All right. Look, oh, he's so adorable. His face still as red as my own, he gently squeezed my hand in his. Together we set off again, weaving our way through the throngs of people as we went. Colorful stalls lined the thoroughfare, stalls offering all manner of wares, from glistening hairpins ojiki? To ojiki? I don't know if that's saying that right anyway. To steaming helpings of monaka and soba noodles. These are the... Oh. So these are the monaka Kobayashi spoke of. They look delicious! They actually really do, in cartoon form. Cartoon form looks adorable. Well, I'll be! You become quite the man since I saw you, Kenbo? Kenbo. That's a new one. Anyway, I was going to call him his full name, and I was like, wait, that's not what it's going to. Anyway. And that young lady on your arm is as pretty as a doll. Kenbo? Would you kindly stop calling me that? Oh, and since we're here, I'd like 2 monaka, please. Coming right up. I'm not the sort who'd stymie 2 lovers out on the town. I'll fill them with plenty of bead jam just for you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Even a passing glance showed the confections nearly bursting with the red bean jam. Oh my god, my back hurts so much. That made up their filling. As its soft sweetness spread in my mouth, I couldn't help but smile. After finishing the treat, we once again took to the bustling streets of Tokyo. Like, now everything's cool. Oh, the police ran by us. We cool. Okay. We continued at a brisk pace until we heard the faint rolling of waves upon the shore, and before us, yet more streets illuminated by gas lamps. Our appetite stimulated by such activity, We decided to partake of the onigiri Chie had given to us. It was the first time I'd eaten Japanese rice, and with each bite, the taste seemed somehow more profound. This is delicious! I'm glad you like it. Oh, you have some rice stuck around your mouth, Spacey. Oh my god, brush it off. Huh? Oh, sorry! Where are my manners? I felt like a child, carried away with excitement at what seemed like an onslaught of new sights, sounds, and tastes, and hastened to cover my mouth with my hand. Stay still a moment. He gazed into my eyes and I stopped. Suddenly, I felt a slight tickling on my lips and saw him wipe his finger across my mouth. You can be surprisingly bold sometimes. You think so? Bold enough to surprise me, at least. I nodded vigorously, and he returned a shy smile, eyes filled with compassion. Every once in a while, he forgets to be embarrassed, and he's like, I love you so fucking much. What? Nothing? It's adorable. My mother would often do this for me. Your mother? Yes, she was a calm soul, ever gentle, who always told me I ought to savor every bite when eating rice, for every grain had value. She passed away of illness when I was still young, however, and I recall few other memories of her. Oh! I'm much the same. I lost both of my parents when I was still just a little girl. I barely even remember their faces now. Still, I'll bet they'd be surprised were they to see me now, traveling to the Orient, walking the streets of Japan, wearing a beautiful kimono like this, and being in love with you. Being able to see your homeland together with you like this was a dream come true for me. I fell silent, and the only sound we heard was the gentle, rhythmic lapping of the waves. Our fingers intertwined, and before we knew it, our hands were pressed together. Warmed and comforted by each other, we gazed out together into the gently illuminated streets. And the two of us could scarcely be more different. Don't break my heart like this, okay? After some time had passed, Akechi spoke again, still quiet. The lands of our birth, our social class, and they couldn't be further apart, and the same could be said of our upbringing, our way of life, and the expectations placed upon us. I do kind of love, though, in all of these, because I want to stop to his, like, the social classes and everything, because she's like a fucking lady, she's like a noble, and all the rest of them are fucking, like, peons to her, right? But she doesn't give a shit. Like, I like that she doesn't give a shit, and it's like, she's not like, oh, well, I love you, but I can't be with you. She's like, now fuck that shit! To hell with that shit. I'ma marry you. I don't give a shit. Like, Holmes, Watson. I mean, Akechi is a whole different, like, story just because he is a quote-unquote foreigner. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a whole different story. But still, she's like, psh, fuck that shit. I'ma marry who I want, bitch. I love it. I love it. She's derpy and kind of stupid looking. But she's got sass. And she's like, I'ma do what I want. And I like that about her, so, you know. As far as main characters go, derpy looking, and she does stupid shit, but she's not all bad. She's one of the better ones, I'll say. Like, sometimes she's stupid. Don't get me wrong, I know I've said that before, like, oh god, why is she so dumb? But, overall, in the end, when you factor everything in general, she's one of the better ones. One of the least, not as frustrating as other ones. They're all frustrating. You know, now and again. They all have their frustrating moments, but I think she makes up for it for being the, like, I don't really care. I'll marry who I want. I'm gonna slap you because you're too cute and derpy, but props for that. Anyway. The privilege of being by your side, holding your hand like this, was perhaps too much for me to have ever hoped for. No, don't you break up with me. And yet, in spite of that, the paths of our lives ended up intertwining. Oh. Look at how he looks like 40 there. He does. He looks, and she doesn't look like a teenager either, but also her eyes are way too fucking big. It's so awkward. It's so awkward. Anyway, I saw the far-off look in his eyes, their dancing light filled with both tenderness and sadness. And never before had I met a woman as bold, as full of vigor, as brave, or as impossible to leave unattended as you. And I doubt that, in the course of my life, I ever shall again. You make it sound like I'm quite the handful. You kinda are. I suppose you are. But even so, He fell silent for a moment, pondering his words. Even so, I love you just as you are, more than anyone in this world. And this is like one of those things where, like, for God's sakes, if they just can't be together, you'd be like, I'm gonna pine forever. It's gonna hurt until we go down Lupin's route. He gave my hand a reassuring squeeze. Oh, she's so much prettier with her eyes closed. Like, see this with, I mean, she's goofy. Like, it's still kind of awkward, but she's so much prettier with her eyes closed. Because they're not the size of her goddamn head. But with the sound of the surf echoing in our ears, we exchanged a quiet, gentle kiss. Hope wasn't loud and rough. I mean, a loud kiss just sounds disturbing. A lot of slurping noises or it's cringy. I mean, but a violent one too. I mean, that's a little much for your first one. Save that for later. Save your kinks for later, okay? My heart raced, and yet my mind was at peace. Elation overwhelmed me, but still I felt such sadness that I was near the point of tears. I wish we could remain like this forever, that I could be by your side. That one wish suffused every fiber of my being, overflowing within me. I just want to see them sitting together in their Japanese wear. So... Oh, anyway. Even so, I couldn't bring myself to divulge to him my dearest wish, knowing that were I to give it life with my words, I'd not fail to cry, and in doing so, trouble him further. Akechi's arm around me granted the comfort and contentment which I had sorely lacked since I was separated from him. Whew, take a breath, Spacey. I will promise you this, Spacey. I promise you that no matter how far apart we may be, and no matter what might stand between us, I'll keep chasing after you, as you did when you followed me here to my homeland. His warmth slowly moved beyond me. My eyes were moist and my vision blurry, but through them I could see the determination writ large across his face. His voice was calm, but had in it the iron of resolve. I nodded, looking back at him. Thank you. Please don't overdo it, though. You're sensible the majority of the time, excessively so even. Sometimes you become so outlandishly daring that it worries me. Perhaps, but I'd still pale in comparison to your bravery. Suddenly, we heard the sound of rapidly approaching footsteps over the rhythmic rolling of the waves. We found him! They take him into custody and ensure Miss Whitley's safety. Inspector Fujita was on the right track. Keep them surrounded. The police officer slowly approached, encircling us. This just has, like, I just feel like this is going to hurt so bad, this epilogue. Akechi and I both realized that the dream-like evening we had spent together had at last reached its end, and a sigh escaped my lips. I'm sorry for the trouble I caused everyone. I simply wished to see what it was like to spend the evening strolling about town, just once, so I snuck out of my room. He came to my aid when I was lost. Moments later, the police had set upon him. We'd be like, stop it, I love him! But Daddy, I love him! Pull a Little Mermaid, girl. Do as we tell you and don't put up any resistance. Akechi! Several police officers took him into custody. I desperately tried to stop them, but to no avail. Like, he didn't do anything! He's the one that saved me, you douche-holes! You imprisoned me! Don't worry, he'll be taken in, asked to give a statement, then released. Standard procedure. But if you try to put up a fight or make a scene of it, it may cause him to be suspected of more than he is already. If you want what's best for him, you'll stay silent. You're kind of a jerk, sharp-eyed policeman. I don't trust you. I've seen you before. What are you doing here? Ensuring the safety of this town and its people, as is the charge of all who serve as police. Our duty is to ensure the safety of all, without regards for race, place of birth, or social class. All are equal under the law. I don't know, you're kind of treating him like shit right now. That's all I'm saying. He's like, it feels like I'm back in England, where I'm just being persecuted for being with a white woman. Man, there is some shit in this game. When you just like stop and think, or you know, you're like, oh, some heavy shit. Well, he spoke with a certain indifference, and yet his words didn't ring hollow or come across as cold. Be sure to see her back to her hotel safely, and treat her with the utmost care and respect, and be like, it's more than you're doing for my friend. Yes, sir. If you'd please come with us, Miss Whitley. All right. I turned my head, looking back at Akechi. As I did, he returned my gaze. I believe in you, Akechi. You know what? This is the point where, in front of all the witnesses, you're like, I love you! And then you leave and they're like, wait, what? Oh my god, are we breaking up lovers? Oh, that's so horrible. We're terrible human beings. And then maybe they'd stop. They wouldn't, but I'm just saying. Just scream out how much you love him. Without delay, I was led away from the scene, accompanied by a small team of police officers. What would we do with him, Inspector Fujita? Take him to the station. I don't think you need to worry about him running now. I couldn't help but notice you wear your sword on your right hip. Inspector Fujita, might you be... Your master is an acquaintance of mine, boy. Boy! There's no way you can say boy without sounding condescending. I'd recognize the katana you carry anywhere. He was a stubborn, hard-headed, and flexible man, but I can see you've inherited his determination to do what you believe to be right. Oh my god, is he smiling? He was smiling. It was a beaming, glorious smile. That's as much of a beaming, glorious smile as Fujita's going to give us anyway. I like how they just keep calling him Sharp-Eyed Policeman, even though we know his name is Fujita, but Sharp-Eyed Policeman. If you feel strongly enough to stake your life on it, then see the matter through to its conclusion, whether for good or ill. And should that be your decision, it may prove possible for even a foolish imitation to surpass the genuine article. The fuck was that all about? 3 days later, at the port of Yokohama, under a clear blue sky, I bid goodbye to Japan as I embarked for London aboard a ship. So-ho! Was your time in Japan? So-ho! Oh, it's supposed to be how, but like, so-ho! How was your time in Japan? So Pendleton just got on the ship. They must have sent a note back, like, we're shipping her back, and he's like, I'll be there to pick her up. Or he's been here the whole fucking time. He was Fujita in a fucking wig and, like, contacts, wasn't he? Oh my god, Pendleton. If Fujita had had blue eyes, even with the dark hair, I would have been like, it's fucking Pendleton in a wig. That's all I'm saying. You know Pendleton was there watching everything that happened, right? Like, fucking everything. He didn't go home. Fuck that shit. Actually, he probably ran home and they ran back. He's a fucking magic elf prince, is all I'm saying, so. He's been back and forth doing everything. Anyway. So, how was your time in Japan, my lady? It was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was depressing. I was imprisoned and I didn't get to see Akechi at all, and it kind of sucked a little bit. That's kind of how I feel about it, but. I stood out on the deck, watching the coastline recede into the distance. At my side was Pendleton, who had come to join me on the voyage home. This is just proof that Pendleton is always there for you, I'm just saying. Look at him. I missed you so much, Pendleton. He's best boy for me. Like, I love actually all the characters in this game, I really do. But Pendleton is still best boy. No one tops Pendleton, I can't. It's not like, well, I mean, but I also, no. Pendleton. Fucking Pendleton. You had a rather gloomy expression for one who had a wonderful time. You've experienced the vastness of the world for yourself and learned all manner of new things. And that itself is worth celebrating. I'm certain you'll be able to assess the myriad of emotions you're feeling once we return to London. Do you think so? I have my doubts. The waves lapped gently at the side of the ship, sparkling with the light of the midday sun. I stared toward the horizon, feeling nowhere near as radiant myself. I can't see myself being able to move past this, really. And then why did you board this ship? Because I wished to believe in him. I hadn't any choice but to come aboard to begin with, but... You're overestimating him. Do you really think he would break the law just for love and come chasing after you? I do. I wanted to believe he would. He hasn't been in jail for 3 days. He could still come chasing after you, and why would that be breaking the law? Look, he went with the police. Okay, I went with the police. He already broke the law by basically kidnapping her. All I'm saying, right? I squeezed the ship's railing so tightly that my arms had begun to shake, but nothing could persuade me to take my eyes from the shore. It surprises me to hear you thought so highly of him, my lady. Don't be racist, Pendleton. The ship cut across the sea, each minute taking us further and further from Japan. The port was now so small against the horizon that only squinting would reveal its details. As unfortunate as it might be, I'm afraid you have no choice but to relinquish your hopes. I could scarcely find the words to respond. But remember, Spacey, it took him like months to be able to actually even get to see you at all. So, I was just hoping he would run after 3 days. No, but you're going to end up in England. He's going to be on your doorstep. Like, I took the first boat here, bitch. She's like, how did you? He's like, it took you 3 days from the last time we saw each other to get on that ship. I got on a ship first. I've been here for 3 fucking days. What? Bitch, please. That was, the bitch please was to Pendleton, because Pendleton's going to say, I call it gassed. I'm taking her now. And that's going to be like an epic battle between Pendleton and Akechi, and I just want to see that because they're both really pretty. But anyway, I could scarcely find the words to respond. Akechi, no matter how many times I called out for him, I knew my words would never reach his ears. They were cast upon the sea, swept away in the wind and the waves. It can't end like this. I mean, Jesus, it's going to break my heart. Oh! Look, she's broken. Oh! This is almost a Toa moment. Nothing will ever be a Toa moment for me. I'm just never gonna cry. I can't cry at games anymore because of that. Anyway, were we truly never meant to be together? Still clutching at the railing, my tears began to fall. At first a trickle, then a torrent, as though a levee within me had broken. I simply cried without bothering to wipe the tears away. It can't end like this. Come on, seriously. The gentle rocking of the ship, a pleasant sensation in happier times, played now the saboteur, robbing me of all energy. Unable to stand any longer, I fell to my knees. Akechi! All I could see as I peered out upon the endless expanse was the sea and sky. He's like fucking on the boat. The pain I felt was so sharp, so consuming, that I could bear to gaze out upon it no more. But then, at the bottom of my sorrow, I heard a voice. There's no need for tears, Spacey. Oh! I told you! I didn't actually expect, I'm like, he's on the fucking boat. She's like, oh, I'm like, he's on the fucking boat. Otherwise, they would have been like, I was so sad the whole trip, and then he's on your doorstep. He was on the fucking boat. Told you the game wasn't going to leave it like that. Anyway. I'm right here, right beside you. Suddenly, the voice I'd wished to hear more than any other was whispering into my ear. Except for, he's like, I died in prison, but I'm a ghost. I'm going to be with you forever. Okay. I looked up and was suddenly enveloped in reassuring warmth. Akechi? Yes? It's really you? I'm sorry. I had hoped to come to you sooner, but... So great was my surprise that I struggled to take in what was happening. But his arms that embraced me and his gentle, reassuring voice were undeniable reality. Honestly, I was hoping you could have held out for a minute longer. But I suppose this will have to suffice. Pendleton is such a motherfucker. He knew, didn't he? I love Pendleton. At any rate, Kobayashi, I believe we ought to take our leave. Sometimes I think you have quite the cruel streak in you, Pendleton. You knew all along that it would end up like this, didn't you? And not only that we would try to sneak aboard the ship, but that Akechi was prepared to do anything for Spacey's sake. Who can say? At the very least, I had no intention of accepting any suitor who wasn't prepared to pursue Lady Spacey to the very ends of the earth if need be. Fucking love Pendleton. Akechi's like, you're evil, and Pendleton's like, oh, fucking course. A butler this fabulous. Oh god. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I gotta, I gotta do my Black Butler tie-in with this because of the whole Butler thing. They're fucking, him and Sebastian are fucking twinsies. He's like, I look innocent, but I'm evil. That's why we love Pendleton. It's that evil in him. He's so fucking pretty and perfect and evil. Oh, what a nasty son of a bitch. I love him so much. Pendleton, best boy. God. Oh, you're the greatest. Anyway. A little honesty never hurt anyone, you know. We'll not forget how you stepped in and vouched for us earlier when we were found out we're going to be thrown off the ship. Well, and the passage to London is quite the voyage after all. It would have been unseemly had there been any delays in setting sail, especially for such a trivial reason. Oh, and by the by, I've been entrusted with a letter of invitation for the two of you from the British royal family. What? An invitation? Yes, though I'm afraid I'm unaware of the particulars surrounding it. But it's not surprising that your achievements would be recognized by no less than the royal family themselves. And you did, after all, save the lives of a ship full of children who had been kidnapped by Spellbound. The day before the ship was due to depart for London, around the time the gas lamps began to shine out upon the twilight streets of Japan, Akechi made his way to the home of an old acquaintance. When I first departed for London, I tried my hardest to put from my mind any memories of you, and to forget you entirely were it possible, says old master. Oh, it was not, and so I felt it was only right that I come to see you again.
Then you've made up your mind?
I have.
What you do, you'll do without regrets?
Of course. But there's one thing I've wanted to ask you. While I was still a student, was I difficult?
Without a doubt. Never have instructed a student more stubborn, more hard-headed, or more inflexible, and I doubt I ever shall again. I have nothing more to say to you. Be on your way, Kenichiro. You belong to another place now.
I suppose I really did end up taking after you. Thank you for everything you've done for me, Master. Please, stay well. Aw. A soothing roll of the waves came quiet upon my ears as they gently rolled the ship from side to side. I felt at ease, reassured, and yet my tears flowed regardless. Thank you for believing in me. You really chased after me? I mean, he's fucking here, Spacey. Yes, shut up. Don't question it. Accept it and love him. Of course. You know, in real life, though, if somebody, you were like, okay, and they kept chasing after you, you'd be like, you're a stalker. I think in this case it'd be okay because you're in love with him and you're like, please come find me. And then he finds you and you're like, oh, it's romantic. If he did this and you weren't in love with him, it'd be stalkerish, but this isn't a dream, is it? Yes. Wouldn't that be great? She wakes up. Oh, it was all a dream. Oh, stab through the heart game. You can't ever hurt me as much as Toa did, okay? You will never fucking hurt me that much. Never forget. Hashtag never forget. Oh, why would you be asleep? Oh, we're not in history class, you know. He chided me kindly, though I was still filled with wonderment that it was really him, that it really was him. And no matter where we go, I want to be the one to take your hand. I want to look toward the future at your side. This is so adorable. I love him so much. He's so pretty. Not as much as Pendleton, but still. I realize that might be a selfish request, and that I might be asking more than I ever should of you, but would you grant this wish? I can hardly call such a hope. Oh, I can hardly call such a hope selfish when I harbor the very same wish of you, too. Unable to contain my joy any longer, I grab his arm in mine. I want to be with you forever. Forever and ever. She looks like he looks like he's gonna lean in for a kiss, and she's like, no, don't! It's just... But I was afraid. Afraid that, were I to ask such a thing of you, I might unthinkingly take you from all you cared about. You needn't worry about that. All that I care about, all that I wish to protect, is right here with me. As I softly cried, I felt the warmth of his encouragement envelop me. That's so beautiful, bro. You were like, I don't want to take you from everything you love. You're the thing that I love. Okay. Ah. Who doesn't dream of that? Like, come on, seriously? Like, if a man said that to you, you'd be like, what? I mean, in real life, you'd be like, what? I mean, yeah, wait. He stroked my hair as it was tousled by the sea breeze, then drew me closer to him. And now that I've come to know you, I hope to discover new things to care about and treasure alongside you, and to make new memories together. Spacey, could I ask you to call my name once more? Akechi. No. We were so close now to one another that I could feel his breath, hear the vibrations of his voice, almost like the pleading of a spoiled child. I felt all the tension ebb from my body as serenity flowed in as parched earth is soaked by a spring rain. His eyes were peaceful, as vast and clear as the sea. Of course, I love you, Akechi. That's not what he meant. You truly never cease to amaze. Aww. And Pendleton's like, what the fuck? He smiled kindly at me, and our lips met softly. Beneath the beating rays of the sun, with the sea lazily churning around us, we kissed once more. My heartbeat raced, my cheeks were flushed, and though my tears had slowed to a trickle, they bathed my face still. But he clutched me tightly in his embrace nonetheless. The world is vast. Compared to that, all I could dream or hope for feels so small, so insignificant. But even so, I want to discover things to wish for, to dream of, and happiness by your side, to have your love and your company forever. The sea breeze caressed our skin, filling the sails that carried the ship onward. Whether beneath the moon's soft light or the sun's dazzling radiance, or even in darkness so deep that tomorrow was far from certain, I wished to take the hand of my beloved, who had journeyed from across the sea and moved forward, placing my trust in him. It was nothing less than a miracle, our meeting, and for that miracle I was filled with thanks and happiness without measure. Oh. May their future be one of bliss. Oh, all right. So we'll see what other. Did we get any new gallery ones? I mean, I know we did, but we got all of them. Okay, it's so weird though that we didn't get all of Holmes or Watson's doing their full. Because like Watson, we did his full path. You know what I mean? Holmes, I could understand. I mean, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we've seen all of these ones before. None of those are new. It's really should just be the ones at the end. I don't know. Let's just go through them again because I don't know if we've seen them all, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we've seen all of these. Like, that's adorable. Like, we've looked at all of them before, but we're just going to do them quickly again just to... I really wish that you could, like, switch to the next one by clicking any of the buttons, but you can't. Oh. I think we've seen them all, but, yes, because I know we've seen that one because that's the one we ended on the last time. But we get another CG. We get to end on a CG this time, and then we'll end on one from the bad ending. So yeah, because I'm not gonna start the bad ending now because we're at like 30 minutes, so this will just be a shorter part, than normal. But it is what it is, and then we'll do the bad ending in the next part, and hopefully that's not a freaking over an hour. Like Jesus. Well, yeah, because we should have seen this one, but why don't I remember? I mean, I do remember it in the game, but I just feel, I don't know, whatever. Well, I just don't remember looking at it after the fact, but... The look on his face is like, what? Well, yeah, because I remember it being this one, like, you have to look sideways at, like, that one's fucking sideways. Oh, yeah, this one, too. You're like, well, so inappropriate. Don't look! Ladies, don't look. Your eyes can't see this. Oh, my God. Oh. So, that just reminds me of B Project. I think it's B Project. Yeah. All of the little things at the end, like the see you next time screen thing. My God, they're so fan servicey. It's like, holy shit. I was watching it like a while ago for the first time. And then like the first time I saw one of those, I was like, whoa, dear God. Like, yeah, they're fan servicey. It's a good show, but you know, if you like your adorable idol anime boys, you should watch it. Also, Utano Prince Sama. Yes. And Idolish 7 is actually really good too. I love this one. Her face is stupid, but he is the most precious I've ever seen him. This is my favorite CG of him, I think. Like, I just love that fucking look. That's the one we're going to end on, because I love that. Like, this one would be good, because he's climbing in your window, but, like, he all beat up and shit. Like, and I just love the look on his face in the other one. It's so funny, because they do not look like the same characters. This looks like a, you know, like 20 years later. 10 years later. Where you're like, but they look like they 40. And you're like, well, no, but everybody was a lot older back in the day. But this is still cute. She's like, I'm so sad. And he's like, I'm right here. I was kind of waiting for that when they had the, when they showed her, like, sitting there. I was like, they're going to show one with him. Like, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Whoops. This one. Don't look at her. Just look at his face. Can we zoom in? I don't think we can zoom. Can we? Can we? No, you can't use this to zoom in. Oh, you can't? No. That sucks. You can usually zoom in. What is this? What is going on here? What is going on with these buttons? Oh, I don't know what I did. You could do it in Hakawoki. You could like zoom in, like by touching the thing, but it doesn't work on this one. Anyway, this one is on my Vita TV. But anyway, so yeah, just don't look at her. Just look at him. He's so fucking precious. Just hold your hand up. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here. We'll do his bad route, the bad ending in the next part. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.